Alright, we're in it. Good old winter has come around again. I put out a video last year basically trying to say that winter driving was not that big of a deal. I believe that was in the, somewhere in the middle of winter. And I hold my position this year. I hold it. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. You see how it's snowing right now. This is the first snowfall of the entire year. I'm over in Michigan, and I believe my home state of Wisconsin's getting some right now too, something like that. But this is not that big of a deal. Basically how I think about this, driving in the winter is, it's basically the same thing as rain, essentially, except, there's obviously ice, which can completely screw up your entire day by you flying into the ditch. That sort of a deal. When it's snowing, it's only going to be snowing for probably that day. If you get unlucky, it's snowing for 2 or 3 days. If you're out west, I don't know what to tell you. It's probably snowing all the dang time. I don't know. I don't really go out there all the time, but generally speaking, it's only snowing for a day or two. And if it's bad for one day, after that, they've got the roads cleared up pretty good, usually. Unless you're just in a strange spot for snow to be happening. Like if it's, I don't know, like you want to say like Tennessee, Georgia, or something like that. Like that, they're pretty far south, so maybe they don't exactly know what they're doing with snow. But we're in Michigan. Michigan knows what to do with snow. Yesterday, they were salting the roads. All right, this is no joke. They were salting the roads yesterday because they knew that it was going to snow. And basically, you can see it on the ditches and, a little bit in the median where there's some snow buildup where it's just sticking, but on the road, it's basically just wet. You can see off the back of that car right there, that black SUV, how it's spraying up snow. That is a good indicator that it's not frozen, it's not snow, it's wet. Once you stop seeing stuff like that, you stop seeing, if it's snowing and you stop seeing, spray up from behind cars, that means that it's pretty much frozen. Or you just see snow getting spit up, it's a reasonably good idea to just slow down pretty good. And I'm only doing 60 miles an hour right now. We're going down the interstate. That's the whole situation with winter, is slowing down. For that day or two that it is snowing, is to just slow down and be more cautious. And to stop way in advance. Remember that you don't have the same traction as summer. All of that good stuff. But the reason that I say that it's not a big deal is because after that day or two, generally speaking, they will have things cleared up to the point where it's basically dry road conditions. Now, like I said before, you gotta watch out for the like super strange ice patches that just build up. Sun beats down on some type of snow situation, and water runs across the roadway, and then it freezes overnight. Something like that. That's what I'm talking about. Is there can just be ice patches you can't even see, and it just happens. Stuff like that. But yeah, winter last year was not that big of a deal. I do remember that being on, for whatever reason, I think back to last year, and I remember I remember being on the 80 in Ohio, and it was just horrible. Like every time I would go through there somehow, that thinking back, that's what it seems like. Is it was just so bad. You know, they get pile-ups of snow, and it was just ridiculous. You'd be going 35 down 80, and that's all you were getting out of it. And of course, you'd have the super trucker that would pass you on the left hand side and just spray up snow everywhere, and you can't see anything for a second. And that's something to be aware of too, is to slow down a little bit if a truck is passing you, to let them pass and get away from you. That's another thing about being cautious. But that's what I remember about last year, is that basically it was very, very snowy on the 80. And if you've got any experience at all with the 80, and even during the summer and whatnot, if you were rolling through there, saw all the construction and whatnot, that is basically, you can use that as a telltale sign to how well they take care of that road. I don't know if they have like a dedicated fleet of trucks and people that just all they do is take care of the 80, but they do not mess around when it comes to winter. They will have, like, I've seen it before, they have like 3 lanes wide of snow plows where they're just plowing the road. They're just plowing it, salting it, and they keep it going the whole time when it's snowing. So it's really not even that big of a deal when it is snowing, but again, it's a caution thing. You just slow down, let the plows stay in front of you, and you're pretty much good to go. I don't know. People get really worried about People get really worried about winter, and they want to just run southern states, which, it's nice to have a break from the snow. I will admit that. It's nice to just be able to be like, sit back and, not have to worry about it. Just set the cruise control and let it eat. That's all you gotta do. You don't gotta worry about anything. But at the same time, if your company is located up north like mine is, you're going to be running through snow. There's like no way of getting out of that, and it's not the end of the world. That's what I found last year, is it really was not that difficult. If you've never driven in snow before, it's going to take a little adjusting, but generally speaking, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. And I mean, maybe it's just because I've lived in snow for my whole life. I've never lived outside of Wisconsin, so I grew up understanding how to drive in the snow a little bit better than, I guess, if you were out of state. I have some issues. Got Mr. Policeman pulling people over. There we go. And you can see that I'm just staying back, letting these people get away from me. I knew that they were going to do that, try and get over, and all this good stuff. So I was already slowing down, before I saw that guy, because I knew that people were going to start doing that. That's what I'm talking about, being cautious. That's literally the biggest thing, is just slowing down sooner, being more cautious. To a certain degree. That's really the whole deal. But yeah, I'll cut this thing off. Winter is upon us. Be careful out there. All that good stuff. And yeah, I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye-bye.